Hey, what's up, YouTube? Welcome back to Feeling It Reactions. I'm JD, and we are continuing our biblical archaeological series here on the channel. Now, I don't know if you've kept up with current events, but there's a lot going on across the world dealing with possible sightings or signs or theories about the second coming. So, there's a lot of stuff going on in Israel right now that plays into it and some of the signs for that. But one of the most interesting things going on that's not really being discussed is about the Euphrates River. And the Euphrates River has been a key part of biblical history. A lot of things have happened in the Euphrates River and around the Euphrates River. And right now, the Euphrates River is seriously drying up, and a lot of things are coming to the surface that have been lost for years and years and years, and they're all pretty cool. I have a video queued up that we're gonna watch. It's supposed to, I guess, show something that's been found in the river since it's drying up. Now I haven't watched it, so it'll be an authentic reaction that we'll see together. But something else that's happening are these giant heads that they're finding, and I don't know if these are statue heads. I don't know if these are heads that were just built or if these are petrified giant heads, because that's one of the theories. There used to be giants on the earth and giant people and giant trees, and that these heads could be petrified human heads or petrified giant heads. Now, if you haven't seen them, they're actually really cool. And they look like this guy here, if you can see that. This guy here, if you can see that. So they have all these different heads like this popping up. Now, I don't know what the actual things are. Hopefully, one day we'll get an answer to it. Scientists will hopefully be able to research it and give us some feedback. So it's very interesting. You need to keep an eye on it. It could have something to do with all of us at some point. So we're going to go ahead and jump into the video now, and we're going to see what this new find is that they found.
The once majestic Euphrates River has undergone dramatic transformations over the years. With each passing season, its dwindling waters reveal secrets long buried beneath its depths.
Millions in Syria and Iraq are facing water shortages as the region's longest river, the Euphrates, dries up.
This year, however, a groundbreaking discovery has surfaced, challenging historical narratives about this ancient region. What could possibly be lurking under the dried beds that reshapes our understanding? And how does this all play out within the biblical narrative? Are we entering the end times? Dive in with us to uncover the mysteries of the Euphrates and learn why historians and archaeologists are buzzing with excitement. In the annals of history, the Euphrates River has borne silent witness to the mighty empires that rose and fell on its banks. An ancient titan, this river has whispered tales of the Mesopotamian Empire, whose people thrived in the embrace of the Fertile Crescent. But as centuries faded into the next, man's ambition reshaped this natural wonder. Imagine a river so vital where the contours of its flow dictated the rise of cities like Babylon. Those who ruled its waters controlled destiny itself. Yet as time passed, this majestic river saw its course altered, its spirit tamed. Bygone empires understood the sanctity of these waters, but today's world, they sought to dominate, to harness its might. Dams emerged, confining the Euphrates and silencing its roar. The incredible history of the Euphrates River. From Turkey, where it springs to life, meandering through Syria and then surrendering its essence to the Persian Gulf in Iraq, the Euphrates spans an impressive 1,740 miles. However, its flow, once fierce and unbridled, has now been reduced to a mere whisper of its former self. Why has this happened? And what does it mean for the world at large? Stick around till the end to find out. The ancient tales speak of Babylon, a city that revered the Euphrates. They knew the secret with the river's control came unparalleled power. But in the shadow of the Treaty of Lausanne, nations were faced with choices that weighed heavy on their souls. Rationed waters sowed the seeds of discord. By 1946, a pact between Turkey and Iraq surfaced, but the waters of the Euphrates had already been stirred. What followed was a fierce water war, with Turkey, Syria and Iraq in a dam-building race. As more barriers arose, the river's vigor waned. Iraq, once nourished by the Euphrates bounty, found its lifeline dwindling. The consequence? Diminished food stocks and a land gasping for fertility. In this intrigue...
Now, as you can see, the banks of the river here, there's sections of the river that are dried up so much that it's actually uncovered an ancient city that they've started going through and digging up. They're actually doing an archaeological dig there to try to figure out from what time period that city is from. But they've also found an ancient caves, and those ancient caves seem to be connected to one another like a giant tunnel system. And they're hearing sounds like screams coming from the tunnel, but they don't know what's causing those screams yet. Now, the thought process behind it is that it's angels that were casted out of heaven that are supposed to be released back to the earth at the second coming or at the rapture. So hopefully they'll be able to at some point actually check out these tunnels and verify where the sounds are coming from.
Intriguing dance of power and survival, one must wonder, will the ancient Euphrates, once a beacon of prosperity, now herald the dusk of an era? The Euphrates River, now being a faint shadow, barely holds any water. But how did this happen? Humans, driven by their desires, overexploited this natural wonder without thinking about tomorrow. The problem began with intentional actions, not accidents. This sparked such fierce disputes that Iraq even pondered bombing Syria's Tabqa Dam. Then Saudi Arabia and the Soviet Union stepped in, preventing disaster. But that was just the beginning. Year after year, nations craved more water, ignoring the vanishing river. This tale of human greed isn't unique to the Euphrates, it echoes worldwide. Tragically, 9 million Syrians depend on this drying river. Their very existence teeters on the brink. And the haunting part? Ancient voices had warned us this would happen. Yet, we turned a blind eye. And now a civilization faces doom. The drying river and its environmental impact. The Euphrates River, once a mighty and life-sustaining watercourse in the arid landscapes of the Middle East, has witnessed alarming levels of depletion in recent times. The drying of the Euphrates presents not only geopolitical and socio-economic challenges, but also profound environmental concerns that resonate at both regional and global levels. To begin with, the reduction in water volume affects the river's natural ecosystems. Aquatic life, including unique species of fish and other organisms, face extinction due to the changing pH levels, increase in water salinity, and reduction in oxygen availability. Wetlands, which play a vital role in maintaining biodiversity, are shrinking, resulting in habitat loss for numerous birds, amphibians, and mammals. These wetlands also serve as natural filters, mitigating pollution and recharging groundwater supplies. Their degradation can lead to a cascade of environmental issues, including compromised water quality.
Now, there's all this fight against environmental dangers. But as you can see here, these are long-term effects of greed, bad decision-making, bad government, and the simple lack of respect for what goes on in an ecosystem. When we don't protect ecosystems, there are negative consequences. And this is a perfect example of what humans can do when they don't care about what's going on around them. People care about money and nothing else. And this is the consequence of that. Millions of people are in danger of losing basic necessities because of it. I think it's absolutely a shame. But unfortunately, only the powers that be can fix it.
Adjacent to the river, The fertile floodplains that once depended on the seasonal flooding of the Euphrates are withering away. This not only impacts agricultural productivity, but also disrupts the soil's integrity, making it more susceptible to erosion and desertification. As these fertile lands transform into arid zones, they release stored carbon into the atmosphere, amplifying the global greenhouse effect. Another concern relates to the microclimates the Euphrates once helped regulate. The river's presence had a cooling effect on its immediate surroundings, which counteracted some of the region's heat. With the river's depletion, areas along its course are experiencing higher temperatures, exacerbating the already prevalent issues of heat waves and droughts in the region. Furthermore, the loss of the Euphrates as a reliable freshwater source can have cascading effects on regional ecosystems. As populations and industries tap into underground aquifers due to the river's unreliability, the long-term consequences include land subsidence and further degradation of already scarce freshwater resources. In essence, the drying of the Euphrates is not merely a river losing its water. It symbolizes a rupture in the delicate balance of ecosystems, a testament to the profound impacts human actions can have on the environment. The fate of the Euphrates serves as a stark reminder of the interconnectedness of water, land, climate, and life. Euphrates drying and the end of times. The Euphrates River also holds a prominent place in biblical prophecy. Found in the book of Revelation, the drying up of this river signifies profound events in end-time scenarios. Revelation 16:12 states, "And the sixth angel poured out his vial upon the great river Euphrates, and the water thereof was dried up, that the way of the kings of the east might be prepared." Interpreted by scholars and theologians in various ways, this passage warns of a shifting geopolitical landscape in the last days.
Now, if you saw that, right, you saw that face. I'm going to back it up a little bit. That face, right?
Interpreted by scholars and theologians in various ways, this passage...
That guy right there is this guy right here. Yes? I'm pretty sure that's the same person. Look at the size of that head. Look at the face. It's haunting to think that these are actually petrified humans that were preserved under the river. And what if they're not actually dead? What if they're in a stasis? What happens if they wake up? Conspiracy, yes. But what's the plausibility of it? I guess we'll find out, right?
It warns of a shifting geopolitical landscape in the last days. Some view the drying up of the Euphrates as a literal event that facilitates the movement of armies from the east towards the final battle in Armageddon. Others see it as symbolic, representing barriers being removed or the unraveling of long-held structures and powers. While the actual events that lead to the drying of the Euphrates remain a topic of debate, its prophetic significance is clear. In the broader tapestry of Revelation, this moment is a harbinger, signaling the culmination of human history and the impending return of Christ. The Epic of Gilgamesh, one of the most ancient and influential pieces of world literature, also has a particularly intriguing episode within this epic revolves around the drying of the Euphrates River. Gilgamesh, the king of Uruk, sets out on an epic journey with his close companion Enkidu, seeking answers to life's greatest mysteries and a way to conquer death. Their adventures lead them to various challenges and confrontations, including the battle with the Bull of Heaven and the encounter with the divine barmaid Siduri. However, it is the journey to the cedar forest and the subsequent episode with the Euphrates that underscores their audacious spirit. In a daring venture to confront Humbaba, the guardian of the cedar forest, Gilgamesh and Enkidu decide to cross the mighty Euphrates River. To achieve this seemingly insurmountable task, the two heroes employ a bold strategy. Gilgamesh uses his massive strength to dig deep pits beside the river. The intent is to divert and drain the waters of the Euphrates temporarily, allowing the duo to cross its dried bed. With precision and might, the heroes successfully create a path through the riverbed, symbolizing humanity's ceaseless endeavor to conquer and manipulate the forces of nature. This episode in the Gilgamesh narrative is not just an adventure, but is deeply symbolic. The act of drying the Euphrates reflects the theme of man versus nature, demonstrating the lengths to which humans will go in their pursuit of goals or answers. The drying of the river also highlights the impermanence of life and the world. Just as the mighty Euphrates can be reduced to a barren path, so too can the grandest of human endeavors or even life itself fade away. While many are familiar with its mention in biblical prophecy and Epic of Gilgamesh, its importance in Islamic eschatology is often overlooked yet equally profound. The Euphrates, which flows through several Middle Eastern countries, is referred to in numerous hadiths, sayings and traditions attributed to the Prophet Muhammad, PBUH. One prominent narration mentions that the Euphrates will uncover a mountain of gold and that people will fight for it. This discovery, as prophesied, would be among the signs of the end times in Islamic eschatology.
So they fight over the water, the control of the water, where the water flows. And according to this prophecy, the water drying up is just going to lead to another war for greed, another war to control riches. It always comes down to money. Everything comes down to money. Who has it, who controls it, and how do we get it? And the side effects, the collateral damage doesn't matter. This is more and more proof as to why we fail as humans, because we cannot get over our own greed.
The drying up of the Euphrates is perceived by some as a literal or symbolic precursor to this event. Gold in the river. Amidst today's global environmental changes, reports of the Euphrates' decreasing water levels have caused some anxiety among believers. For many, these developments are not just ecological concerns, but are also seen through the lens of religious prophecies. The mere possibility of these ancient predictions coming to fruition has heightened fears of the imminent end of times. For a region already laden with socio-political challenges, the intertwining of environmental degradation with religious prophecies adds another layer of complexity. But can it actually happen? Once, long ago, the waters flowed and whispered secrets of gold to ancient civilizations. The Assyrians and Babylonians, guided by the shimmer of this metal, built empires with gold sourced from mines near the river. Though these mines never touched the river's embrace, they were close enough to share whispered tales. Fast forward, and today the ripples tell an...
This here, if you could see, this here, let me blow this up, is the city that uncovered when the waters receded. This right here. And they started excavating this whole part of the lake right here. So this was all underwater and hidden for years. It's amazing.
New story. In eastern Syria, one can spot the gleam of gold in the hands of locals. With rudimentary tools, they dig and sift, hopeful for a golden bounty from the riverbed. But does this river hold a treasure trove? The answer isn't clear-cut. While gold does shimmer here, it's not in abundance. This gold is merely a remnant, worn away from the ancient rocks surrounding the river. Gold in rivers is often fleeting, preferring to hide in bedrock crannies rather than float in open waters. Yet the tantalizing idea remains, could there be hidden mountains of gold waiting to be discovered? Ancient prophecies once spoke of the Euphrates River's fate. Those predictions, eerie in their accuracy, saw the river receding, revealing secrets of a buried civilization. If these prophecies were right about the river's fate, could they also hint at vast, undiscovered gold reserves? If gold does burst forth from the earth, we may be facing a storm more turbulent than any climate catastrophe. Such a discovery could tug at the very fabric of nations, making them unravel in their gold lust. In an ever unpredictable world, one thing is certain. When nature unveils her secrets, it's bound to shake the very foundations of our existence.
I think what you would want to do is equate this to the gold rush out west. Look what the gold rush out west did to the continent of Northern America. All these towns all these people flooded into these areas. And as soon as the supply dried up, they abandoned it all. But look how many people died in the pursuit of this gold. Look how many people suffered and lost everything in the pursuit of this gold. This is going to be the same thing there. They're going to continuously migrate there, and you're probably going to get in trouble because the Middle East is completely different than the United States. They do not mess around with people coming across the borders. They don't mess with outsiders. And they're going to be fighting amongst themselves. They're not going to want anybody else involved. So it's going to be hellacious, to say the least.
However, interpretations of religious texts can vary widely. Some scholars emphasize that the drying of the Euphrates, as described in Islamic texts, may be symbolic, representing societal decay or spiritual drought rather than a literal drying up of the river. Nevertheless, for many individuals in the region, witnessing changes in the Euphrates flow can evoke deep-seated emotions and concerns about the future implications of the drying river. Beyond prophecies and warnings, its decline could spark clashes capable of ushering in global calamity. Political tension in the region is palpable, and ominous whispers echo from the past. Pastor Joseph Kabalieta, a sentinel of the Watchman Ministries, recently addressed an audience in Uganda, sounding the alarm of impending doom. With references from Revelation 9 and Ezekiel 38, he cautioned that the desiccation of the Euphrates might be the initial domino in a series of catastrophic events. The die is cast and humanity must be vigilant. Beside the Euphrates flows its sibling river, the Tigris. Their waters have nourished Kurdistan for eons, but now they betray its inhabitants. Fields yellow, crops wither, and desperation mounts. In a desperate attempt, the authorities tapped into the Mosul Dam reservoir, hoping to salvage the land. But their decision unearthed more than they bargained for. A city found. As the waters retreated, a phantom city, submerged and silent for ages, was resurrected from the aquatic abyss. This wasn't its first cameo. Back in 2018, a drought had briefly exposed the city's edges. But this time, opportunity knocked twice. Within days, an elite team spearheaded by Hassan Ahmed Quazim of the Kurdistan Archaeology Organization rushed to the site. They tread upon the remnants of the Mitanni Empire, an urban sprawl dating back a staggering 3,400 years. Racing against time and the imminent return of the waters, they unearthed astonishing artifacts from this ancient metropolis. In the ruins of a city submerged since 1350 BCE, researchers uncovered secrets that whispered tales of an ancient civilization. Ravaged by a catastrophic earthquake, many assumed that nothing of value could remain, but nature had concealed instead of destroyed. Imposing walls, 22 feet high and 6 feet thick, stood tall. They hid vibrant wall murals of red and blue. It was astounding. Underwater for millennia, many structures remained, defying the passage of time. Some of these sun-dried mud walls, though worn, still loomed almost 10 feet high. Among the grandeur, one building stood out. Named the Huge Magazine Building by the team, its towering multi-stories hinted at its past significance. It was evident that it served as a storage hub, holding treasures from across lands. Ivana Pulgis, a noted archaeologist, remarked on the structure's importance to the ancient Mitanni Empire. But the mysteries deepened. 5 ceramic vessels revealed over 100 cuneiform tablets, some still encased in clay envelopes. The odds of such delicate, unfired clay artifacts surviving underwater for 4,000 years? Almost miraculous. These tablets could hold the essence of a bygone era, offering glimpses into a forgotten city's daily life.
So to me, maybe to you, that means that these were meant to be found. If they were not destroyed by nature, if they were protected by nature itself, there has to be a meaning behind their existence. There has to be something in these findings that we were meant to find. What do you guys think? Do you guys vibe with that? Are you feeling it? Do you know the relevancy of how nature works? Most things are destroyed over time. but certain artifacts have slowly been found that should not exist, but do. And that's what we're looking at. The more we dig, the more we find. And it's becoming evident that these prophecies are starting to come true.
The tablet and Gimel Ninkarak. As the team meticulously examined a tablet, they saw a familiar seal impression. It belonged to Gimel Ninkarak, a significant figure in the distant city of Turka in ancient Mesopotamia. This was no ordinary find, for this seal hinted at Gimel's authoritative position within his community during the late 18th century BCE. The presence of his seal on official documents provoked a burning question: who was this Gimel Ninkarak? As the team delved into the ruins, a ghostly tale began to unfold. The old city whispered its secrets through clay tablets, untouched by government hands and unblemished by propaganda. These ancient diaries, buried and preserved, unveiled the lives of its residents like hushed confessions from the past. Among the relics, 14 tablets spoke of Gimel Ninkarak. Found within the confines of a grand house, they suggested that Gimel was not just a key figure, but might have had ties with the local king, Cash Tilashu. Yet amid tales of prosperity and power, there were also stories of despair. The tablets revealed heart-wrenching narratives of individuals like Gwatam, a young girl trapped in the clutches of adversity. Their struggles painted a haunting backdrop to this ancient world, once thriving and now lost. Other wonders in the world. But as darkness settled, hope emerged. The dedication of two scholars, Bucalati and Olivia Ruel, began piecing together this jigsaw of the past. Their meticulous work provided a vivid window into life in Turka during the 18th century BCE. The revelations brought forth by these tablets were more than mere historical records. They were testaments to a civilization that once was, and to the indomitable spirit of its people. In a way, the whispers of Gimel Ninkarak and the countless others immortalized in clay reached out, ensuring they wouldn't be forgotten, even in the face of time's relentless march. In a world where the remnants of the past lay buried, nature's fierce power sometimes reveals secrets hidden for millennia. Among the desolate ruins and shards of history, this dedicated team of explorers stumbled upon clues hinting at the once great city of Zakiku. This city was a pulsing heart within the vast expanse of the Mitanni Empire, stretching an astonishing 600 miles from the shadowy Zagros Mountains all the way to the shimmering Mediterranean Sea. These ancient Mitannis, fierce and proud, once squared off against the mighty Egyptians, striving for dominance over the golden lands of Syria. But as empires rise and fall, a truce was forged with Pharaoh III Mosfefor in 1420 BCE. Alas, destiny had other plans for the Mitannis. Their might crumbled under the assault of the Hittites and later the relentless Assyrians, drowning Zakiku's splendors beneath nature's cloak. Yet in a twist of fate, the merciless drought of 2019 unveiled another wonder. In Spain, the parched earth exposed the dolmen of Guadalperro, a megalithic monument that had slept underwater for 6 decades. With the sun's rays kissing its surface for the first time in years, 140 massive granite blocks whispered tales from 7,000 years ago. This awe-inspiring structure, believed to be an ancient chamber or tomb, stands as a testament to humanity's age-old quest for immortality. But Guadalpero's emergence isn't a solitary miracle. Nature, in her whims, has frequently lifted her veils, revealing lost cities and ancient marvels. Each discovery is not just a peek into bygone eras, but a stark reminder of nature's dual role, destroyer and preserver. In this ancient, vibrant city, life thrived. Streets echoed with laughter, children's games, and the distant hum of daily chores. Suddenly, without warning, the earth roared and trembled, toppling the city's proud structures. The lively city was shattered, swallowed by chaos, and buried in ruin under the wrath of a powerful earthquake. But from this calamity arose an unexpected twist. The city's demise became its guardian. As the taller walls fell, they blanketed and shielded the city's lower sections. This wreckage, though seemingly destructive, became a protective barrier against time and nature, keeping the city's secrets hidden. Over the years, winds blew and sands blanketed this once bustling place, causing its memories to fade into obscurity. However, the ruins concealed beneath the layers an untouched time capsule of the past. When explorers peeled away the layers, the city revealed its hidden treasures. Not just magnificent buildings, but also personal glimpses into its inhabitants' lives, gleaming coins, crafted pottery, and intimate trinkets like jewelry. This ancient city, silenced by a quake, whispered its tales through these artifacts, waiting for discovery in its apocalypse-shrouded embrace. Thank you for being with us. Make sure to watch the next video on your screen. It's a must-watch.
All right, so there it is, right? Another video dealing with archaeological finds that have biblical impacts. Is it a giant conspiracy? Is it coincidence? Do all of these things coming together mean that the Bible is actually true? And what about all of the other scrolls that have been found, like the Dead Sea Scrolls and all of the Gospels that were found that weren't not used in the Bible, that were found in hidden chambers and hidden pots? And there's so much out there that we don't know why it exists. But the Euphrates River is extremely important and it's disappearing. So what'd you think about this video? What's your reaction to what they were talking about? Do you have an opinion? Were you feeling what they were saying? Let me know down in the comments. What's your thoughts? Have you researched it? If you have any information to share, let me know that also down in the comments. We appreciate your feedback and your input on this topic. It's very interesting, and if you know anything about it, I'd love to know more. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, help us grow. Like, share, and don't forget to hit the post notification so that when we drop new videos, even though I do apologize, it's not as many as I'd like at one time, but at least you'll get notified that we dropped it. All right, until next time, we'll see you then. Peace.